Before making a final presentation of all of us together, I would like to talk about an important aspect called Korvai, which is very important for all of us, all percussion instruments. There are lots of Korvais, lot of dimensional of Korvais. We will now take what is a Korvai? The Korvai is a rhythmic pattern which has two halves, the first half and the second half. In Tamil we call it as Purvangam, Uttarangam. We start it and end it. Purvangam is the first part, Uttarangam is the second part. So there are different ranges of Korvais. First we will all take a simple Korvai and I will tell the Korvai, and each of us will play it in our instruments respectively, and finally we'll play it together. So you will see the difference in the tonal musical tones of each of the instruments. Dit takadinda dim, dit takadinda dim, takadinda dim, takadim dim, tadik kitato takatadik kitato takadigo tadik kitatom ta. The first half of the Korvai is tadik takadinda dim, dit takadinda dim, takadinda dim, takadim dim. The first half Korvai ends there. It's like reducing the Korvai. This Korvai is of reducing type, the Gopucheti type, what we call in Tamil. This is the Purvangam, the first half. The second half starts tadik kitatom takadik kitatom takadik gotadik kitatom. That's very, very simple for all of us. We are taught in our respective schools.
Then reducing.
You eliminate the second half, goes up tadik kitatom takadik kitatom takadigu tadik kitatom. So we will play once in each of the instruments separately, and you can see how it sounds, the same Korvai, how it sounds. The language is the same, but how it sounds, and we will finally play it together once. And in the next round we go on to a complex Korvai, and each of us will play different dimensional Korvais of our own creativity.
And when he mentioned Gopuchayati, it is basically a structure that is present in a Korvai. Gopuchayati is basically a reverse cone that is obtained. When I say tat tit takadinadim, it is like two bars of rhythmic pattern, tat tit takadinadim. And then when I say dit takadinadim, it reduces, and then takadinadim, then half of that dinadim, then dim. So it is basically a reverse cone, and then when you get to the second part of the Korvai, it is increasing cone.
You eliminate two syllables of each in the first half, and you increase it by 2 in the second one.
Yes.
So the second half is tadik kitatom takatadik kitatom takadik gotadik kitatom. Basic mathematics. Tadik kitatom is 6, takatadik kitatom is 8. So logically, obviously 6 8 has to be 10. So he will now play it on the mridangam first. 1 2 3 4. All together. That was the simplest of the Korvais, which we played separately and none together. Now we move on to a advanced level of Korvai. Each of us have been taught in a particular school and in heard masters play, and also over what we call as Kelvi Jnanam, listen to the great masters play. So the creativity part comes there. So each of us will play a different dimensional Korvai. Now the Korvai which we played earlier was Purvangam and Uttarangam. That was the basic thing. Now he will play a Korvai. It's a long phrased. He'll take a pattern, the phrase, and he will develop on that and play a Korvai. And it's called a Solkattu Korvai in Tamil. That is, he'll play a long rhythmic pattern and he'll improvise on it, and he'll play a big Korvai in it.
Ta ta dinna ta ka ta dinna tam tang Tatikadum Tatalangudum, Tatikadum Tatalangudum, Dikadum Tatalangudum, Kadakadum Tatalangudum, Kadakadum Tatalangudum, 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 Takit, Tatalangudum, 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 Tak.
So what he played was a very different dimensional Korvai. Like he took a phrase, he developed it, and that Korvai was played creatively like that.
It is again a representation of cone. When I say the first phrase that I played is, which is 11 in number. When I say tam tam, tatikadum tatalangudum ta. So the next thing has to be either 10 or 12. So I've taken 10. So here's the second one. Is 9.
He's cutting each and every syllable by one.
When I said tattitakadina dim taddim 8, dittakadina dim taddim, it was 6. I was reducing 2 syllables there. Now I'm reducing 1 syllable. When I say 11, 10.
9, 8.
So I've reduced it to 8, and then comes the next portion, which is 13. Tang, dim tatang, rim tatang, rim tatang, rum ta. So a pattern can not only be a progression, it can also be a constant thing. So I've just played this 13 thrice and giving a Korvai in between. The Korvai here is 6. So when I say kitta, kitta,
The Korvai is the gap which he gave.
so this forms the whole math of it, and the whole sums up to 96, and that's why I started in the middle of the
Because we took the Aditalam, that is Chatusha Triputa Talam, in 2 kalais that each be put twice. So since he is playing the round of one whole round takes
60.
96.
Yeah.
It consists of 96 matras, 96 aksharams. He had to take it at the half because
one cycle is
one
64.
cycle is 32 plus 10 to 64. So if you play for the 2 rounds, it's 128. So you had to play minus 32 and play for the rest of the 96. So this is one type of one dimension of the Korvai. Four of us will play different dimensions of Korvai and show it. He played in Chaturashram, that is the basic 4 tempo. He played that dimensional.
There can be 2 progressions at Uttarangam and Purvangam. Like for instance, I have an example like tatitakadum ta dim, tatitakadum ta dim, tatakadum ta dim, tatakadum ta dim, takadum ta dim, takadum ta dim, takadum 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 ta, tatakadum 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 ta, tatitakadum 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 ta. So when I talk about the Purvangam, you have 2 progressions going in parallel. Tatitakadum is 5, takdim is 3 and 2. So 5 3 2 5 3 2, and then I go to 4. Since we had 5, now I'm going to 4. Tatakadum tattim, 2 and 2. It was 3 and 2 earlier, now it's 2 and 2. And then when I say the next pattern it is 3 here. Takadum, takdim, takadum tadim. So it's 3 here and 1 2. So you have 2 parallel patterns running, and these patterns need not coincide with each other or correlate with each other. It can be 2 separately sustaining patterns. So that is one kind of a new age concept that's been.
You can just take one phrase ta, di, ki, ta, tom. It's a 5. We know. You can do a lot of things in that.
Yeah.
Ta, di, ki, ta, tom. Ta, di, ki, ta, tom. Ta, di, ki, ta, tom. Ta. So first what I did was 3 gap in between. Tak, dik, kik, tak, tom. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Next it doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tak, tak, dik, kik, tak, tom. Next it becomes 9. Tak, dik, kik, tak, tom. The same applies to any soul. This is only for tadi kita tom. You can play for tadi kita tom. You can play any gap. You can give any number of karvais, provided it's aesthetic. That value is there. You can't just give 23 gap and it doesn't sound good. It all depends.
Yeah.
So he choose 11 that has an aesthetic value. Somebody can tell, why can't I choose 29? You can, provided it's musically
Yes.
sounds good and aesthetic. So everything has that thing. So now I'll play a korvai. It's called a korvai. Lot of karvais in between. In the purvagam, in the uttaragam. Purvagam is, I will reduce it. Ta, tak, kita, takadita, dim. Ta, tak, kita, takita, dim. Ta, tak, kita, takadim. Ta, tak, kita, tadim. Ta, kita, dim. Ta, ki, ta, tom. Kita, tom. Kita, tom. Ta, ka, di, na. Ta, kita, tom. Ta, kita, tom. Ta, kita, tom. Ta, ki, ta, takadinna. Kita, tom. Takadinna. Kita, tom. Takadinna. Kita, tom. Ta. So is that the Purvagam is just the innovation of tak kita takadinna dim, tak kita takita dim, tak kita takadim, tak kita tadim, tak kita dim. We're just reducing everything. It's basically a very famous choreo of Manier master who used to play tak kita takadinna dim, tak kita takadinna dim, tak kita takadinna dim. So the second used to remain the same.
Constant.
So I have reduced the second one and just little bit, the base of the choreo is the same. So what happens is the second half is I have taken ta, ti, ki, ta, tom. The 5 syllables with a gap of 6 in between. Ta, ti, ki, ta, tom. If that is the question, the reply to it is ta, ti, ta, kar, tom, ta, ti, ta, kar, tom, ta, ti, ta, kar, tom. The male column, the fastest speed of it with 1 aksharam gap. The next phrase, if that is A, the B becomes ta, ka, di, na. The 4 with a gap of 6, that becomes tat dit takardom, tat dit takardom, tat dit takardom. 3, 7, 1 karve. The question for the C is ta, ki, ta. The 6 karve remains constant. The 3, the design from 5 to 4 to 3 reduces, and finally it becomes 9. This is the first variety. The Purvangam of all the 3 varieties I played are the same. The Uttarangam, from the design 5, it reduces to 4. A becomes the 2A now becomes 4 ta, ka, di, No, 6 Korvai is the same. The response to that is 7, 3 sevens. The 2B becomes 3. From 4 it becomes 3, Swarupam of 3 design. The reply to that is 9. 3 nines, 1 Korvai, reduces by 2. The C, 2C becomes 2. Tak, ki. That's all. Because from 4, 3, 2, here it goes to 11. The last round becomes, the first, for Purvangam is the same. The last round starts with 3A becomes ta, ki, ta, 3. We only have 3. After 5, 4, 3, it starts with 3. The response to that is 3 nines with 1 Korvai. 3B becomes ta, ka.
2.
We only have 2, 6 Korvai. That becomes 11. 1 Korvai. The last sequence is 3C, ta. That's all we live in. That's the end. 6, 13, end. This is a natural progression. So we move on to Prasanna. He will play a different dimensional Korvai and he will talk about it.
So I will play a Korvai which has 4 nadais. So the base is the Chatusra nadai, and that pattern will repeat in different nadais in the Purvangam, and the Uttarangam will have 3 different nadais. Okay, the same nadais which are repeated in the top of
the first half.
First half of the Korvai. Tadikitak, 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 tam tam. Tadikitak, 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 tam. Tadikitak, 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 tam tam. Tadikitak, 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 da. Tadikitak, 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 da. Tadikitak, 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 da. Takitatom, tadikitak, takitatom, tadikitak, takitatom, tadikitak, dum, takitatom, tadikitak, dum, takitatom, tadikitak, dum, takitatom, tadikitak, dum, dum, takitatom, tadikitak, dum, dum, takitatom, tadikitak, dum, dum, takitatom, tadikitak, dum. Okay.
What is he? The first half of the Chaturashram, the Korvai he played was Chaturashram. 5, the design of 5 was in Chaturashram and Kandam. The design of 6 was in Chaturashram and Tishram. The design of 7 was in Chaturashram
and Mishram.
The Chaturashram was the base, but it got converted to 5 Kandam, 6 Tishram, 7 Mishram. And the Uttarangam was Kandam first,
Tisram second,
Tishram second, and Mishram in the last.
So in between Korvai was 5, 6 and 7.
So this is a different dimension of Korvai representing different nadais. Now we'll go on to Krishnan sir. He will play
The same one, actually Purvangam I will change it. And then Uttarangam I will play like that. In between some Korvai is there. Shall I play?
you will be playing Chaturashram nadai?
Chatusram and then
Tishram?
Kandam and then Tisram.
Chaturashram, Kandam and Tishram. Okay. So 4, 5, 6 the tempo changes to.
Din tang kada kita kita din ta tum. Tatum tang kada kita din ta tum. Din tang kada kita din ta tum. Tatum ta tiketa tan. Tatum ta tiketa tan. Tatum ta tiketa tan tam. Tattatum ta tiketa tan. Tattatum ta tiketa tan. Tattatum ta tiketa tan. Tattitatum ta tiketa tan. Tattitatum ta tiketa tan. Tattitatum ta tiketa tan.
Fine.
So
Now-
this din tattam, that is called 8 plus 8, 16. Like that 3 times. And then 3 8s, 4 Korvai. And then kantam, tat tatum, tatiketake 10, tat tatum. That is I will play in kantanadai. I will convert the as kantam. Then tatit tatum, tatiketake, tatit and that's with tisram. That is it will convert as tisram. Tatit tatum, tatiketake. Tatit tatum,
That
tatiketake.
8 he is playing. 8 he is will be playing in Chaturashram. 10 it becomes Khandam.
Kantam. 12 in
Tempo changes. 12 it becomes
in between the 4 Korvai, according to the Korvai will change. That's it.
I think we'll end our presentation by playing a very exciting Koraipu, that is a reduction round, and we'll all play Mohara Korvai, which is the finale to any percussion ensemble or a Thani avartanam. Yeah, there are different structures of Thani avartanam. It depends on the creativity of the artist and the time given and the space. So, if say there's no particular standard structure, an artist might start with the Chaturashram Nadai and go on to one of the 5 Nadais, whichever he feels comfortable. And say if there is 1 or more, 2 or more, 3 percussion instruments like what we are now, the most exciting round will be the Koraipu for layman and for anybody else, because that's where the most extempore and reflexes happens, because there will be 1 avartanam, 1 round, half of that. So it comes to even 1 unit, 1 matra, 1 aksharam. So you have to be very sharp in doing that. So there's no particular structure for a Thani avartanam or a live vinyasam. It absolutely depends on each individual creativity. You can start with Khandam, you can start with Mishra Nadai, you can start with Tishram. It's an ability of an artist. There's no.
Yeah, but the constant thing is the Korappu, Mohara and Korvai.
The
which
Mohara and
will
Korvai
be-
is there. There are a lot of varieties, but Mohara is there. Korvai last is plays for 3 times, and after that, if it's a kacheri, if it's a concert, the composition, the vocalist takes the composition, or the instrumentalist takes the composition, or if it's a live vinyasam or only percussion ensemble, we end it with that.
Can you say what the Mohara is in the Korvai?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or are you going to play Mohara? and-
Yeah. We will be playing from the reduction round. We are taking the Aditanam 2 Kalai, which is 64 for 64 aksharams for 1
1 hour.
avartanam. We will be playing a Mishra Koraipu, that is 56, 7. Mishra Koraipu is based on 7 multiples and permutation and combination of 7. Each will be playing our own, whatever we like. It will be an absolutely extempore thing. We have only fixed it as 56, but whatever we feel like in 56, to our ability we will play. So 56 gets reduced to 28, 28 to 14, 14 to 7. You cannot play 3.5. So after 7 we reduce it to 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We come till then, we'll join together and we'll play the Mohara and Korvai and finish. Thank you very much.